Hey guys, Coach Jason. Hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to do my last in a video workout series that I'm doing. I'm essentially doing part ones and part twos. I've done my part one of 800 meter, 1500 meter / mile workouts. So just workouts for early, mid, and late season. I've done two separate videos, part one and part two. I've done the same for 3K and 2 mile. I've done one for 5K, two videos for each. I've done for 10K and I've done for half marathon. You'll see them in the description down below. Today I'm going to do my part two of marathon workouts that you could utilize. And these are workouts that I've used over my last 2 decades as a coach with success for a lot of athletes. Again, everybody has individualized needs, so workouts might need to be modified to what you feel is most appropriate for yourself or for them. But I want to give you some ideas of workouts that I use early season, mid-season, and late season. If you look at my training programs, you'll see these plugged into my training programs at some point or something like it. But one of the things that's important with marathon running is consistency. So you're going to see workouts here that are repeatable, okay? Something you do early season and then mid-season and then late season, either more of it or faster of the same type of workout. That's an indicator of your progress, okay? So with that, let's get to it. Oh, by the way, if this is your first time to the video, welcome to the channel. Welcome. If you're a coach or an athlete and you just like fully detailed training programs and good running content, you want to look at stuff that you can analyze and learn, this channel's for you. So hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell next to it so you don't miss any videos that I have moving forward. And the one after this is why it's appropriate to be training at the right training paces for everything, okay? And I'll be attaching a couple of videos to that as well. That's a very important video, so I encourage you to watch it. But if you want to take a look at the 100+ videos that are out there already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification. Even if you don't plan on subscribing, if you find the videos enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up. It's really helpful. It really helps YouTube kind of promote the video, and it means a lot to me. I greatly appreciate it. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos, and I want to make sure that you enjoy them. But if you do watch my fully detailed training plans, and it's 12 to 16 weeks by the week, by the day, everything, by the month, you'll see it all detailed. Be sure to watch the whole thing. I can't stress it enough. Don't pause and then just write things down and then skip to the next section and do the same thing. I explain everything as to what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I don't want you to miss important details. I want you to be as informed as possible. And if there's still questions after that you have, put them in the comments. I respond to all questions, okay? I like to have dialogue with my viewers. So with that, let's get to the details, okay? Early season. This is a fartlek run. It's an extension of one that I do in the half marathon training videos, okay? This one's a 25 by 1 minute hard, 1 minute easy. So it's 25 minutes of hard running, but it's at a much faster pace than marathon pace. Say 5K pace, okay? Or something like that. Or approximately, or you can go between 10K pace and 5K pace or something like that. Work your way down, okay? That's considered speed development or speed training for marathon. And it's an important component to the training, and I stress this in my other videos, particularly with the marathon. The longer the races get, the more energy efficiency becomes that much more important, okay, and more prevalent and more significant. And this type of stuff, these type of workouts help your stride pattern, your stride cadence, help you become a much more efficient runner, okay, whether it be this, whether it be rolling or flat, either way, this is a good workout to do early, mid, and late season, okay. So 25 after you do your work and your warm up, your drills and strides, whatever your routine is, then it's 50 minutes continuous. So it's 25 times 1 minute hard, 1 minute easy. So it's 1 minute hard, 1 minute easy, 1 minute hard, easy for 25 times. And then afterward, you do your cool down of whatever it is. Okay? That's workout one. Number 2, 10 miles at goal marathon pace. So let's say you're trying to run 3:30 for the marathon. It's 8 minutes per mile. At some point early season, you should test yourself to see how close you are to running 10 miles at goal marathon pace. At some point, I like to have folks during their training program do maybe a 15 or 16 mile simulation, maybe about 5 to 6 weeks out, to see how close you are to your goal marathon pace. And it'll give you an idea of the things that you might need to do or modify for the last 5 to 6 weeks leading up to your marathon. That's a good sign if you can do that much. But if you can do 10 miles at your goal marathon pace early in the season, it's a good sign. Okay. And again, I'm not talking about beginners for the most part. These workouts are a little bit more for people that have a little bit of experience. If you're just looking to run your first marathon, take a look at my first time marathoner video. It's a fully detailed training program. That'll take you through day 1 all the way to marathon, whether it be 12 or 16 weeks. Give you exactly what you need to do to finish your marathon. Okay. These are for folks that want a little bit more structure. Okay. So again, 10-mile run and goal marathon pace. The next one, 8 times 1 mile reps. with a 2-minute 30-second recovery at your goal marathon pace. So again, if you're not ready for that, you have this as an option. Okay, so it's 8 times a mile. Let's say it's 3:30 again. So you're doing 8 times a mile at 3:30 at your goal marathon pace. Oh, sorry, 8 times a mile at 8 minutes. Excuse me, per mile with a 2-minute 30-second recovery at your goal marathon pace. Okay, and lastly, a little bit less volume. It's 6 times a mile, but now it's with a 3-minute recovery. It's at your goal marathon pace minus 5 to 10 seconds per mile. So those would be at 7:55 to 7:50 per mile. I mean, slightly less reps, but again, you might be more ready for, more suited for the less reps at a slightly faster pace, or for the longer bout of workout, a longer workout at your goal pace. Really depends on what you feel is most appropriate, your age, your experience, your fitness level, and the training environment for yourself and your athletes. Those things need to be taken into consideration. Okay. Now let's go to mid-season. How do we transition? So we're going to repeat that same workout as above, but the goal is to run this one slightly faster than you did last time. Okay. And what you would do is you'd be covering more ground in that period of time, essentially. So that's an indication that you're running the workout faster. It's a sign of progress. Okay. It's a really good workout, and I emphasize doing it all throughout a marathon training program. Okay. If you have soft surfaces available, best way to do it. Okay. The 10-mile run is at goal marathon pace minus 5 to 10 seconds per mile. It's a sign of progress as well. Okay. So if the goal is, remember, 3:30, which is 8 minutes per mile, you're looking to run this at about 7:55 to 7:50 per mile. And if you're going to do longer, something like this, or a long run, I encourage you to take a look at the course map and simulate it as much as possible. So if the course is flat, that's a good workout to do on the flats. If the course is rolling, that's a good workout to do on the rolling. Try to simulate the marathon as much as possible whenever you're doing something long and continuous. Okay. Next one, repeating that, but now it's 8 times a mile with a 2:30 recovery at your goal marathon pace minus 5 seconds per mile. So now it would be 7:55 per mile. If you did these at 8, 5-second drop, sign of progress, a repeatable workout. And again, repeating that short workout 6 times a mile with a 3-minute recovery at your goal marathon pace minus 15 to 20 seconds per mile. That's a more significant, that's about half marathon pace, about 15 seconds per mile. So, but this is a workout you should be able to do the fitter you become. Okay, it's less volume. You could do it at a slightly faster pace. But again, 2 options of mile repeats. Now I'm going to sit down here and get a little lower. Okay, late season now. Okay, which is essentially, if you're doing a 15-week season, your last 5 weeks. If a 12-week season, your last 4 weeks, and something like that. Okay, the workouts would be kind of gradually pared back, but in such a way so that it doesn't interrupt progression. Okay, and what I mean by that is periodization. It takes 3 to 4 weeks for the body to adapt to a training cycle. So I would not be increasing for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then doing the same on the back end. You got to do blocks where your body has a chance to adapt to whatever training cycle you're doing. Okay, to minimize your chances of getting hurt or sick, and to maximize your chances of staying healthy and being freshest when you need it the most. Okay, so we repeat that 25 by 1 minute hard, 1 minute easy fartlek one more time. Okay, and the goal is to obviously run it a little bit faster or cover a little bit more ground. Okay, again, another sign of progress. That's why I like repeatable workouts. It tells you whether you're covering more ground or whether you're doing the same distance slightly faster. Okay, it's a good sign of progress. And again, you spread them out by 3 to 4 or 5 weeks each, so you can do a block of training in between. Okay, and lastly, the next 10-mile run. So now it's a 10-mile run at goal marathon pace minus 10 to 15 seconds per mile. So again, if it's 8 minutes for 3:30, this is at about 7:50 to 7:45 per mile. Okay, should be able to do it. And again, you simulate the marathon as much as you possibly can. Okay, and this can also be if you don't do. I mentioned a 15 or 16-mile simulator, which is essentially about 5 weeks out or 6 weeks out. This is essentially almost a half marathon. So if you have a half marathon race that you wanted to run or couldn't run or whatnot, if you don't do the simulator, half marathons are essentially about 15 seconds to 20 seconds faster than your goal marathon pace for the most part. Not everybody, it could vary, but look, this is 10 miles at about pretty much half marathon pace. So it could be in place of a half marathon race if there's none available. So it's just an option to think about as well. If you don't do the simulation, you can add a few miles to this and do 12 or 13 miles of it and consider it a half marathon race. and then see how, based on in pace calculators, or how close it is to the goal marathon, and see how close you are to your goal fitness. Okay, 8 by a mile. Repeat number 3 now at 2:30 again. 2 minutes and 30 seconds recovery at your goal marathon pace minus 10 seconds per mile. So again, these are 8 minutes. These are 7:55. These are at 7:50. Okay, and then last but not least, 6 times a mile with a 3-minute recovery at goal marathon pace minus 25 to 30 seconds per mile. Now minus 25 to 30 seconds per mile. So this is at essentially 7:35 to 7:30, significantly faster. You're starting to approach VO2 max levels, but this is a good workout to do, whether it be 5 or 6 times a mile towards the end of the season, which will really give you an idea of not only your fitness but your sharpness as well, to see how your legs are turning over and so on, and how ready you are. Okay, so these are some workouts that I highly recommend that I encourage you to consider if you're not implementing them or incorporating them. And again, take a look at my training program so you can see how I kind of plug these things out, how I spread them out, okay, for periodization reasons. And also I'll put a video down below of how to set the right training paces and how to run a 1-mile time trial and what it says for your fitness, and then how to set the right training paces based on a 1-mile time trial. Now, if you're running a marathon or training for a marathon, then you could do a 1-mile time trial and then later on do a 5K or something like that, or even a 10K, which will kind of give you an idea of how your strength is moving upward. So, and then how far you are to basically being your equivalent to a marathon or half marathon. And it'll give you an idea of any types of adjustments that you might need to make. So I encourage you to watch them, and watch them in their entirety, because they're very detailed and the numbers are all there for you. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, again, please hit that thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet and you plan on watching more of my videos. If there's not a video, or if there's a video that I had not put out yet and you want me to, put it in the comments down below. I will be sure to get to work on it. If I can do it, I'll tell you if I can do it, and I'll do my best to make a really good one. My goal is to make this one of the best running channels out there. Not flashy. There's no magic workouts. There's nothing this, nothing then. There's no magic peak. It's consistent work over a long period of time. Okay, that's going to put you in a position to achieve your goals, or maybe even exceed your goals. And the reason why I have multi-paces, the more multi-pace training you do, whether you're training for a mile or a marathon, the more have it incorporated into your training, the better you're setting yourself up for long-term success. So it's not only beneficial to do everything at marathon pace. You need to do other things as well. Okay, and that's where stuff like this comes into play. So with that said, hopefully we have some kind of season here, but be safe and take care of each other, and I'll talk to you next time.